Hello and welcome to Town Talk. I'm your host, Rose Highland-Sharpe. This very inspirational program is brought to you by Highland Communications for storytelling and much more. Call 295-0013 and support the Wills to Work program. Give your tax-deductible donation of a car or cash by calling 944-7149. Give cars that work to people that work. Today, my guests are Pastors Charles and Deborah Bloom from Kingdom Minded Ministries. Enjoy the show. They are Pastors Charles and Deborah Bloom, and we're at Kingdom Minded Ministries here on the other side of Taylortown, North Carolina, on the West Gate and outside of Pinehurst, North Carolina. How are you folks today?
Doing great.
Doing wonderful.
To God be the glory. Well, folks, I know you guys are not new to ministry. You've been in ministry for a while, but some people may still not be familiar with your ministry and the good work you've been doing in the Eastwood, Pinehurst, Southern Pines, and surrounding areas of Moore County. So tell us a little bit about your background.
I'll let my wife go first.
All right. Co-Pastor Deborah. Tell us all about Deborah.
Okay, she wants me to go first.
How about that?
Well, born and raised in Mississippi, and graduated, and we got married when we were relatively young, not too young, but, and then joined the military, and that's where the ministry first started with us in Anchorage, Alaska, quite a few years ago, and we've been just progressing in ministry from that point. I'm currently employed with FedEx, been with them for 26, 27 years, and we'll be hopefully retiring next September the 1st to sort of engage us in a more full-time ministry experience. So. And we've been here in the area for about 14 years. Started there at Eastwood, and from that, the Lord just began to redirect our hearts to give birth to Kingdom Minded Ministries, and so that occurred, and we started, just with the basics. Few folks, very committed group of folks that. Felt the same heartbeat that we did, and we just sort of grew from there. We still got a long way to go, but at the same time, we are really excited about the progress that we've made so far.
Amen. To God be the glory. And Pastor Deborah, is there a love story in this somehow?
Yes, we met when I was 15 years old in high school. We were high school sweethearts. We met when I was in the 9th grade and he was in the 10th grade, and went on to get married when I was about 18, and I believe he was about 19 years old. And we have 5 kids, 4 boys and 1 girl, and right now we have 9 grandchildren from this union. So we've been married about 36 years.
And you guys don't look much older than 36 years of age. To God be the glory. Honest to goodness. God has certainly preserved you. You're so young, but you met at an early age, and it's beautiful that high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
That story.
Yeah.
Yes.
And were both of you all in the church during that time? Were you saved?
Yes. My father was a pastor. He pastored for many, many years. So from the time I was a little girl, when he was pastoring, at I believe the age of 2, I was walking upon his platform. So I was raised in church. My mom and my dad were saved. And so once I, married my husband, he gave his life over to the Lord the night before my first son was born.
Amen.
Yeah, I wasn't in the church at the time. I was going to church, but not committed believer. And it was the gospel songs that her mom used to play when I would come in to visit her, but then play nothing else, so I had to listen to the gospel music. And I think that played a part in my conscious conversion first, just hearing the message of the word through songs. And so from that, the actual conversion took place, salvation took place. And so, yeah, we've been over 36 years. And it's been absolutely wonderful.
And I want to say congratulations in all you've done in your marriage, to stay married. And because a lot of us didn't make it. With the longevity and whatnot, and with so many divorces in the church today, not just across America and the world with everybody, but just in the church. It's kind of a sad thing.
Right.
But to God be the glory. The Lord has kept you guys together, and I do believe when a family certainly goes to church together, they worship together, pray together, and just resolve to put your differences aside. Don't go to bed angry.
Right. Absolutely.
Amen. I know it's all of that and more. And, I've been told through the years that they'll say, oh, Sister Sharpe, I've had 10 good years and 10 bad years out of the 20. Now, what would you guys say about that?
Well, I think for us, any relationship is going to be challenged by different circumstances and adversities. But I think for us, it's always been, the willingness to compromise with each other and not try to gauge or compare the bad versus the good. I mean, even though we've had those challenges, but, there was a center focus, and that was the word of the Lord. And that kept us through those difficult times. That balanced us. She brought certain dynamics to the relationship that I didn't have, and I brought certain dynamics that she didn't have. So the mixture of the two makes the one, and that one brings about that union that gave us the ability to really conquer adversities and maintain a good, strong relationship.
Amen. So you guys really complement one another.
Absolutely.
God designed you, who you are, Pastor Bloom and Pastor Deborah, in your own way to come together so you guys complement whatever she needed, you had, and vice versa.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Absolutely.
And I heard something about the music ministry, how that God ministered to you to receive the Lord through the music.
Well, music has always been sort of a passion, but I never really learned how to play an instrument. But I've always had a passion, and Deborah's family is musically inclined as well. So listening to those songs, Mahalia Jackson, Shirley Caesar, there was some, the Five Blind Boys, it was very traditional music, but it just sort of, activated something, and more or less, it activated an interest, a desire to seek, to search, to pursue, God that I've always heard about but never knew. So, and so with that, the more I would come to her house, the more I will look forward to the different, music selections that her mom would make sure that we were playing and not playing that other stuff. And I believe that helped sort of create, our children that has musical passions and background as well. Our kids are musically inclined, so I think that sort of was a part of that, that consciousness that sort of matriculated into their genes, and now they're pursuing different music ventures and careers.
How about that? Oh, that's so wonderful. 5 children and 9 grandchildren.
Yes.
Wow. To God be the glory.
Yeah.
So you guys have a full house when it's the holidays and whatnot?
Absolutely. Yeah. Our kids.
It's a lot of noise.
Plus other people's kids too. Yeah.
We just had a recent granddaughter that was born about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Congratulations. How about that? Oh, the family's steadily growing.
Steadily growing.
Yeah. And now, are your children involved in your ministry here at Kingdom Minded Ministries?
Yes, we have a daughter that's here, and we have a son that's here also in ministry. Yes, they're kind of shy right now, but they, my daughter just had 3 kids, so she's not actively involved right now. And then I have another son that was out of town, so he's just not coming back into town. So
Yeah.
I believe that all of them have a call of God on their lives, and they're anointed by God. Sometimes, they get shy and everything, but God has some great things in store for them.
Amen. And you're probably speaking to the hearts and minds of somebody listening today who feel that they're too shy. They don't have what it takes to serve the Lord. What do you say about that?
I used to be real shy when I was coming up, and I believe that when God has something special for you, if you just trust God and allow God to, if you seek God, then God will begin to give you what you need to be able to stand up before people and do what he has for you to do. But if you put God first place in your life, I believe that whatever he has in you, whatever gifts he has in you, then God's going to bring those gifts out.
Amen. I love that. That's so beautiful. I know.
I couldn't do it by myself.
I hear you now.
Even now when I get up sometimes, I still get a little nervous, but then after I get up before people, the Spirit of the Lord comes in and kind of takes over. So I know that, God will give you the boldness that you need to be able to stand up before people and do what you have to do to be able to minister. If you trust God, then God will make sure that it comes to pass, whatever it is that he wants you to do in life.
Yes. Yes. You want to back that up a little bit, Pastor Bloom?
Well, just sort of piggyback on that. I think all of us, at a certain point, is sort of reluctant, to step out into new areas, into a public setting. Some do it just by actual, it just comes with their nature. Then the others of us, it sort of has to be pulled out. But I think that, the most important thing is the relationship that you have with Christ. And that relationship, as it grows and as it builds, then that itself brings about a degree of boldness and courage to where you feel this conviction of sharing, you feel this conviction of being able to declare those things that he has done for you or that he's called you to do. Jeremiah described it like fire that was in his bones, to where when he wanted to shut up, he couldn't, because this thing just burnt within him so greatly. And the more you do it, the more you are up in an environment that causes you to have to, be in front of an audience, then not necessarily the easier it gets, but the more confident you become in getting up there. And once, that boldness sort of kicks in, you're able to do what you're called to do and not take any credit for it and just give God all the glory.
Amen. Bottom line, that's always it right there, to give God the glory. Yeah. Recognize him. Folks, of course, we're on Town Talk today with Pastors Charles and Deborah Bloom at Kingdom Minded Ministries. And you guys want to give the location?
We are currently located in what we call a temporary location at 180 Westgate Drive here in Pinehurst, right beyond the Taylortown light